Alex, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very
Gary,
much.
welcome to Van Halen.
Oh, thank you.
Unreal. Now, we have to explain your outrageous outfit.
It's not that it's outrageous, but there's a mirror on the other side of the camera, and I can see I look like a fool. But I tell you,
No, you don't.
You know what? Well, we're shooting a video,
yeah.
And it's
Planes
always,
are coming
it's
in.
always well, no, it's always. This is my way. See, if I look like a fool, it makes everybody else look better.
Hey, listen,
That's my
me dressed
donation.
like this, and I walk onto that set with all that ice, I'm the fool. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean it's covered up.
Yeah.
And that's real ice. That's really cold.
It's real ice. But as a matter, the thing was, it looked a hell of a lot warmer on paper. When they first showed it to us.
It's not even a year ago, I don't think, when I was up in the studios with you and Eddie, talking about the past of Van Halen and of all of the volumes of stuff you've got and how you had to wade through that. New album, very exciting. Gary, lead singer, very, very exciting.
Absolutely.
Tell us how it happened.
Absolutely. Well, Gary.
How did it happen?
How did it happen, Gary?
We met Gary through a mutual friend, and that was how we actually physically got to knew each other. But we knew of Gary from his days of Extreme.
Extreme, yeah.
And when we didn't have a lead singer, it was we didn't want to have to go through the ordeal of auditioning. Not for us and not for the people who have to come through. I think it's very demeaning. Come over here and sing a couple of songs, see what you can do, son. So. When we met Gary, it was more a situation of just being together and seeing how the chemistry was, not just creatively, but also personally, because you spend a lot of time together, in a band, not just making music, not just in the studio, but you travel together, you're on tour, and the tours are usually about a year long, and if you don't get along, there's no point to it.
Right. Yeah.
So that's basically how we started with Gary. Now, his story's going to be a lot different, of course.
Yeah. Has nothing to do. No.
Gary, I mean, the thought of joining the two brothers and becoming part of Van Halen and the rest of the band, daunting?
Well, you don't think about it. Every once in a while, you think about it when people bring it up. But when you're in it, you're just working, you're writing, you're singing, and that's not daunting. It's when you go home and every one of your friends shake you and go, you know what band you're in, right?
Yeah.
So, no, but not daunting.
Okay.
Alex is daunting. Alex, especially in this jacket.
You guys want me to sit in the back?
Okay.
That's why you sit in the back.
Doing the album, was it a fun project to do? Was it a conscious, hard project to do? What? Because it kicks ass, this album,
Yeah, the way it ended up, it did kick ass. I think one of the main problems at the onset with this record was there was so much material, and Gary and Ed were just writing every day. There would be a new song, and I think it's very liberating when you enter a new dynamic. The band's the same, but with Gary, the dynamic changed.
Right.
And it was almost overwhelming because I would pull Gary aside and we'd come up with little pieces of what could have been a song, and then Ed has his thing. And at the same time, I think because of several years of frustration with music that Ed had written, and really nothing was being done with it for a number of reasons, now was the opportunity to actually follow through on it and see some of these ideas come to fruition. The songs were not written prior to Gary being here, but they were a step out, I would say. And you've heard the record. Some of the stuff is a little bit different. Yeah. But it was a very interesting process. Including the fact that we had Mike Post do the production of the record, because he's never done rock and roll before.
It's not what it takes. So tell me, why can't this be love? You want it straight from the heart. Tell me, why can't this be love?
Gary, writing with Ed, I mean, is it a different frame of mind as a songwriter for you? As I would ask the same question if Ed was here. I mean, as before, does it give you a whole new look at life as songwriting?
No, I think Alex made a good point. Whenever there's a new member, It's a different dynamic. It's a different
Yeah.
chemistry. So you know, again, it was everyone was capable of doing their job, but like Alex said, you got to see if you get along.
Sure.
And the ideas came together. Some worked, some didn't. Most of them worked, and that was the experience. Now we can second guess each other
Sure.
a little bit more.
I'll use the word daunting again of when you first got together with them and songwriting and that to go up to those studios, because when I did the interview with the two boys, and then they showed me around the studios, and they showed me the vault with all this material. I walked out of there, and even when I caught the plane home, because I went home the next day, and I'm thinking,
Right.
I've heard about Prince putting things into vaults. And this is ridiculous. How much is there, you know?
Right. No, I got that plus. I got walking into the physical vault and seeing these tapes up to the ceiling, and then going into the house and Eddie playing me everything he ever knew on the piano, and it was pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, vocally, I love your vocals on this, you know. With working with a different producer, was that, and working with the boys, did that give you a whole new aspect as a singer, you know? Because, your vocals on this are fantastic on this album. They kick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They pushed me.
Yeah.
You guys.
You push yourself.
Yeah.
Again, the situation is there.
Sure.
And you make music in a different way with different people.
But it's also funny because joining the band, especially the first week, we try things, suggestions and all that, and I didn't want to not do anything that they asked me to do. So maybe I sang a few songs that were out of my key.
Right.
We'll fix that next record.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, with the album, because there's so many songs on it, 12 songs, and a lot of them could be singles. To come out with Without You, the first one, was that a hard choice what represents us first with this album, you know?
Well, that's a tough nut.
Right.
It's always tough which song should come out first, but in general, it seemed like the record starts with it, so why not let it be the first song to go out?
Yeah.
From a philosophical standpoint, we're not much of a singles band.
Right.
If a song ends up being high on the chart as a single, that's great, but I think the idea is it's more important to have a cohesive total music I was going to say total music experience. The record. We want the whole record heard. Otherwise, there's no such thing as here are the hit singles and here is filler. That's not how we do things. Some people, I can't. If I say some people, Sammy didn't want to do some of the older stuff, and I think that's almost like admitting or not admitting that there is a history to the band.
Sure.
The songs are what's important. It doesn't matter, that somebody else wrote it in the context of whether Sammy would do pre-Sammy stuff or not. The songs were great, and people wanted to hear them, and that stuff has been put in the back for the last 11 years, and now it's time to. Let's play some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And again, it's the audience who decides. Really, because first of all, there's now 12 records with this one, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of material to weed through. But we'll just change it up.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Oh, hey you, who said that? Baby, how you been? You say you don't know, you won't know until you begin. Can't you see me standing here? I got my back against the record machine. I ain't the worst that you've seen. Can't you see what I mean? Might as well jump.
Now, Gary, with say Van Halen, going say like 8, 9 years back, you know.
Right.
Did you have favourite Van Halen tracks? Were you a fan of Van Halen?
Yeah, it was part of growing up. It was for me, and especially the guys in Extreme. It was Aerosmith, it was Van Halen,
Sure.
it was Queen, and we grew up on that stuff. By the time Sammy came into the band, I was a little less familiar because that was when we were doing our thing.
Sure.
But we were always listening to the new Van Halen record. So as far as the old stuff, there's plenty of stuff.
Good song is a good song.
Yeah, and they told me pick anyone you like. So I'm picking the ones I like. You know? They got no problem playing them.
Was there any chance of you doing an Extreme song here and there?
You never know.
Yeah, maybe.
You
someday.
never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not at first, but maybe if we all have fun with it. But right now, there's enough to do off this new record, and
Yeah, but
there's
Gary,
just so much
from
stuff.
what I hear is Gary doesn't like singing Gary's older stuff.
Yeah, I don't like. I really have a problem with my old shit.
Oh my God! I suppose you're going to vault over there somewhere else. You know? Listen, it is great to talk to you again.
It's good to see you again.
And Gary,
absolutely.
welcome to, as I said, certainly to Australia. Looking forward to you coming
Thank
down with Van Halen, and I know. Like the album, it's going to kick ass, and the tour, can't wait for it. And there's a lot of people in Australia that will just get off. You know?
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're excited.